Wealth is never built in a single day. It is crafted in the quiet, invisible choices you make every morning, every evening, and every moment in between. What if I told you that the difference between a life of scarcity and a life of abundance doesn't come from luck or chance, but from 7 simple habits, practiced consistently, that anyone can master? The wealthy are not defined by luck. They are defined by discipline, by vision, and by the rituals they keep when no one is watching. Their riches begin not with millions in the bank, but with small, deliberate habits repeated each day. These 3 truths hold a quiet power. Wealth is not a miracle, nor is it reserved for a chosen few. It is a path that can be walked by anyone, willing to shift their mindset and honor their daily actions. Imagine your life as a vast field. Each day you plant seeds, your thoughts, your habits, your choices. Over time, those seeds either yield scarcity or abundance. Today, you will discover the 7 daily habits that plant the seeds of prosperity. Not complicated formulas, not overnight success schemes, but timeless practices that, when woven into your routine, will slowly but surely transform the way you think, the way you act, and the wealth you attract. So take a deep breath, open your mind, and let your heart lean forward, because what you are about to hear has the potential to reshape your financial destiny. Now, let us begin with the very first habit, the habit that sets the tone for every day and every fortune that follows. Number 1. Start your day with a wealth mindset. Every day is a blank canvas. The moment you open your eyes in the morning, you hold the brush that will paint the colors of your reality. For most people, that canvas is filled with worry thought, of bills, deadlines, and the pressures of survival. But for the wealthy, the first strokes are different. They begin their day not with fear, but with intention. The first daily habit that builds wealth is starting your day with a wealth mindset. This is not about waking up to count your money. It's about aligning your thoughts and emotions with abundance. Before the world has a chance to dictate your state of mind, think of it as tuning a musical instrument. If you don't take time to tune it, the music will sound distorted all day long. Your mind is no different. One of the simplest yet most powerful practices is gratitude. When you rise, pause for a moment and whisper thank you, not for what you lack, but for what you already hold. Bed that carried you through the night, the breath in your lungs, the opportunities waiting, unseen, just beyond the horizon. Gratitude shifts your frequency. It lifts you from scarcity to possibility, from fear to faith. Another practice is using affirmations. Wealthy individuals often repeat empowering truths that guide their day. Money flows easily and freely into my life. Or, I am worthy of abundance. These are not empty words. They are seeds, rewriting the old scripts of limitation into new stories of prosperity. Some even journal their intentions. Each morning, they don't just hope for success, they declare it. They write their goals, visualize their outcomes, and connect emotionally to the wealth they are creating. By doing this, they begin the day as architects, not as victims of circumstance. Imagine 2 people. One wakes up, scrolls through social media, and drowns in negativity before leaving the house. The other wakes up, sits quietly for 5 minutes, and centers their thoughts on abundance and gratitude. Do you think walks into the day with more clarity, confidence, and energy to create wealth? Wealth is not simply about numbers. It is about alignment. When you start your day with a wealth mindset, you tune yourself to the frequency of prosperity. And like a magnet, you begin to attract opportunities, people, and ideas that resonate with that vibration. So, as you prepare to learn the next habit, remember this. Every fortune begins in the mind. Before the money appears in your hands, it must first appear in your thoughts. Number 2, track and respect every dollar. If the first habit is about shaping your mind, the second habit is about shaping your money. Wealthy people understand a simple truth. You cannot manage what you do not measure. This is why the second daily habit is to track and respect every dollar. Most people treat money like sand slipping through their fingers. They spend without awareness, and at the end of the month, they wonder where it all went. However, treat money like loyal companions. They know where each dollar is, what job it's assigned to, and how it can multiply. Think of money as a team of workers. Each dollar is an employee in your financial company. If you ignore them, they wander aimlessly. But if you give them direction, whether it's to pay for necessities, to save, or to invest, they begin to build something larger than themselves. Tracking your money does not have to be complicated. Some people journal their expenses in a notebook. Others use an app. The method is not what matters. The awareness is when you know where your money flows. You begin to see patterns. You see the leaks, the coffee you barely remember buying, the subscription you never use. And you also see the possibilities, the money you could redirect into savings, investments, or opportunities for growth. But beyond the numbers lies respect. Respecting every dollar means treating money with intention. It means recognizing that even the smallest amount carries energy. A wealthy person values $10 as much as 10,000 because they understand it is not about the size, but about the principle. Let me share a simple illustration. Imagine two people receive $100. The first spends it on impulse, chasing the fleeting thrill of consumption. The second pauses, allocates $20 to savings, $30 to investing, $40 to expenses, and $10 to giving. Over time, the first person remains stuck in cycles of scarcity, while the second slowly builds a foundation of wealth because they respected the money they were given. Money is not a mystery. It is a mirror. How you treat a dollar is how you will treat a million. If you are careless with little, you will be careless with much. If you are faithful with small, greater will be entrusted to you. So track your money, respect your money, see every dollar as a seed that, when planted wisely, will grow into the forest of your financial future. As we move to the next habit, remember this: wealth is not built by chance, but by clarity. And clarity begins when you take responsibility for every dollar that passes through your hands. Number 3, invest consistently, no matter how small. Once you begin to track and respect your money, the next question arises: what do you do with it? The wealthy understand that money is not meant to sit still. It is meant to grow, to multiply, to serve a larger purpose. And this brings us to the third daily habit: invest consistently, no matter how small. Many people wait for the perfect moment to invest. They believe they need thousands of dollars, insider knowledge, or a stroke of luck before they can begin. And so they wait. They wait for the right job, the right time, the right amount. And while they wait, the wealthy are already moving, already planting seeds, already growing forests. From tiny beginnings, here is a simple truth. Money is like a group of soldiers. Each dollar is a worker you send out into the world. When you invest, you're not spending your money, you're assigning it a mission. A dollar placed in the right soil can grow into 2, 5, or 10. But if it is left idle, it remains only what it is: limited, stagnant, unused potential. Think of the power of compound interest. Imagine planting a tree in the beginning. It is just a fragile seedling. But as you water it, day by day, it grows roots deep into the ground and branches high into the sky. Over years, that single seed becomes a tree that provides shade, fruit, and oxygen. Investing works the same way. What begins small, when nurtured consistently, becomes a source of abundance far beyond what you first imagined. The wealthy don't ask, "How much can I invest today?" They ask, "How can I invest consistently?" Even if it's $10, even if it's the smallest fraction. They know the habit matters more than the amount, because once the habit is built, the amount will naturally grow. There is a saying, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. The same is true with investing. If you haven't started, begin today. If you've started small, keep going. The key is not perfection, it is consistency. Some people invest in stocks, others in real estate, businesses, or even their own education. The vehicle may differ, but the principle remains. Invest something consistently. Over time, you will see the magic unfold. So, as you move forward on your journey to wealth, remember this. Your dollars are not meant to be locked away in fear. They are meant to be sent out on missions. Invest them wisely, and they will return with reinforcements. And as we turn to the next habit, we will see that investing isn't only about money, it's also about the mind. Because before wealth can expand in your bank account, it must first expand in your thoughts. Number 4, feed your mind daily with wealth knowledge. If money is the seed of wealth, then your mind is the soil where it grows. And like any soil, it must be nourished, enriched, and cared for every single day. This is why the fourth habit of the wealthy is to feed your mind daily with wealth knowledge. Think of your mind as a garden. If you do not plant roses, weeds will grow if you do not plant ideas of prosperity. Then fear, doubt, and limitation will quickly take root. Every piece of information you consume, books, podcasts, conversations, even the shows you watch, is either feeding your wealth or feeding your poverty. The wealthy understand this principle deeply. They dedicate time each day to learning, reading books about finance, studying the stories of successful entrepreneurs, listening to mentors, or reflecting on timeless principles. Of money, they know that wealth is not a one-time achievement. It is a skill that must be sharpened, a muscle that must be trained. Take Warren Buffett as an example. One of the richest men in the world, and yet he spends about 80% of his day reading and learning. Why? Because he knows that knowledge compounds just like money does. The more you know, the more opportunities you can recognize and the more mistakes you can avoid. Feeding your mind is not only about technical knowledge, it's also about mindset. It's about replacing old stories like, "I'm not good with money," or "I'll never be rich," with empowering truths. I can learn, I can grow, I can create abundance. Every time you consume uplifting, wealth-focused information, you are rewriting the script of your financial destiny. But here's the key. It must be daily. Just as your body cannot thrive on one meal a week, your mind cannot thrive on one moment of inspiration every few months. It must be constant nourishment. Even 10 minutes a day reading one page, listening to one powerful idea can shift the course of your life over time. So ask yourself, what are you feeding your mind today? Are you planting seeds of scarcity or seeds of prosperity? Are you consuming distractions or are you consuming wisdom? As you nurture your mind with knowledge, you prepare yourself to recognize opportunities that others miss. You prepare yourself to think bigger, to act bolder, and to walk the path of wealth with clarity and confidence. And as we move forward, remember this: wealth is not built in isolation. Even the strongest mind needs the right company, the right voices, and the right community. Which brings us to the next habit, one that will remind you that your environment shapes your destiny. Number 5, build and nurture meaningful networks. No matter how brilliant, disciplined, or determined you are, wealth is never a journey you walk alone. Every success story is woven with the influence of mentors, partners, friends, and allies along the way. That is why the 5th habit of the wealthy is to build and nurture meaningful networks. There's a saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you surround yourself with negativity, fear, and small thinking, it will weigh you down like stones in your pockets. But if you surround yourself with visionaries, creators, and problem solvers, their energy will lift you, expand you, and pull you toward greater heights. The wealthy know this truth well. They deliberately choose their circles. They attend events, not just to be seen, But to connect, they invest time in conversations that stretch their thinking, not gossip that drains their energy. They nurture relationships with people who inspire them, challenge them, and remind them of what's possible. But networking is not only about receiving, it's about giving. A true relationship is built on value exchanged, not favors owed. The wealthy ask themselves, how can I help this person? How can I add value to their life? Because they understand that when you pour into others, that generosity circles back, often in unexpected ways. Think of relationships as bridges. Each one connects you to a new land of opportunities, ideas, and resources. Some bridges may lead you to mentorship, others to partnerships. Some may even lead you to friendships that enrich your soul as much as your wallet. But here's the secret: you must tend to these bridges. If neglected, they decay. If nurtured, they become strong, enduring pathways to growth. And perhaps most importantly, building networks teaches humility. No one knows everything. No one succeeds entirely alone. By acknowledging your need for others, you open yourself up to wisdom greater than your own, and to possibilities you would never have seen on your own. So look at your circle. Who inspires you? Who challenges you? Who drains you? Begin to shift your environment step by step toward people who reflect the future you desire, not the past you are leaving behind. As we transition to the next habit, remember, wealth is not just about numbers. In a bank account, it is about energy, what flows in and what flows out. And one of the most powerful ways to align with abundance is to cultivate gratitude and generosity with the money you already have. Number 6, practice gratitude and generosity with money. If you listen closely, you'll notice that money carries an energy of its own. For some, it feels heavy, like a chain that weighs them down with worry. For others, it feels light, like a current, flowing freely through their lives. What creates the difference? It is not the amount of money, but the attitude toward it. And that brings us to the 6th daily habit of the wealthy. Practice gratitude and generosity. With money, gratitude is the doorway through which abundance enters. When you are thankful for every dollar that comes into your hands, whether it's large or small, you shift your relationship with money. Instead of chasing it with fear or clinging to it with desperation, you honor it, you appreciate it, and in doing so, you invite more of it to flow into your life. Imagine money as a river. If you stand at the bank, terrified that the river might dry up, you clutch at every drop, never trusting the flow. But if you trust the current, if you are grateful for the water that nourishes you, you see that the river never stops, it keeps moving, carrying life downstream. The wealthy see money as that river. They do not panic when it flows out, because they trust that it will return. Multiplied. Generosity is the other side of this truth. When you give, even a small portion, you keep money in motion. You prove to yourself and to the universe that you are not a prisoner of fear. Whether it is donating to a cause you believe in, helping someone in need, or simply treating a friend with kindness, generosity sends out a signal. I have enough, and I trust that more will come. This act of giving doesn't weaken wealth, it strengthens it. Like pruning a tree, it allows new branches to grow. Those who give freely often find that unexpected doors open for them, new relationships, new opportunities, and yes, new wealth. But here is the key: gratitude and generosity must be practiced daily, not once in a while, not when it feels convenient. Even a small act each day, a whispered thank you for a paycheck, a journal entry of appreciation, a few coins shared with someone in need, keeps your heart aligned with abundance. Remember this: money is not just a tool, it is a teacher. It reflects your beliefs, your fears, and your gratitude. When you treat it with respect, when you circulate it with generosity, it rewards you by flowing back in greater measure. As we step into the final habit, keep this truth close to your heart: gratitude unlocks abundance, and generosity multiplies it. But wealth does not remain only in thoughts. And feelings, it demands action. And that is where our final habit will take us. Number 7. Take bold, calculated actions daily. All the mindset shifts, all the gratitude, all the knowledge in the world mean little if they do not translate into action. The wealthy understand this simple truth. Dreams without action remain dreams. And that is why the 7th daily habit is to take bold, calculated actions every single day. Fear has a way of disguising itself as caution. It whispers, wait until the timing is perfect. Wait until you know everything. Wait until you feel ready. But here's the reality, you will never feel fully ready. The wealthy don't wait for perfect conditions. They act, and they adjust along the way. Think of a ship leaving the harbor. The captain cannot wait for the wind to be flawless or the sea to be perfectly calm. The ship must launch, and once it's moving, small corrections can be made to reach the destination. Action creates momentum, and momentum creates opportunity. But bold action doesn't mean reckless action. It means calculated risk steps taken with clarity, backed by knowledge, and strengthened by consistency. Wealthy people set financial goals, and each day they take one step toward them. It may be as simple as making a phone call, sending an email, starting a small investment, or launching a side project. Small steps compound, just like money does. The difference between those who build wealth and those who only dream of it is this: one acts. The other hesitates. One plants seeds daily. The other keeps seeds locked away in fear of losing them. Action transforms ideas into reality. Action turns intentions into results. And action builds the bridge between where you are now and the life of abundance you long for. So ask yourself, what bold step can I take today? Not tomorrow, not someday. Today. Because every day wasted is a day of potential wealth lost. And as we bring these 7 habits together, remember, wealth is not just about accumulation. It is about alignment, clarity, gratitude, and above action. 7 habits. 7 simple choices repeated each day that carry the power to transform your life. Begin each morning with a wealth mindset, because your thoughts set the tone for your reality. Respect every dollar, for how you treat the small will decide how you handle the great. Invest consistently, no matter how little, because time and discipline will multiply what you sow. Feed your mind with knowledge, so your vision never grows dim. Build networks that lift and inspire, because no one rises alone. Practice gratitude and generosity, keeping money flowing like a living river. And above all, take bold, calculated actions, because only action turns dreams into wealth. The truth is this: wealth is not distant. It is not reserved for the lucky few. It is the natural result of the seeds you plant every day. Your daily habits are either building your fortune or building your limitations. So choose wisely. Choose to align your mornings with abundance, to honor every dollar, to keep learning, to nurture relationships, to give freely, and to act courageously. Do this, and you will not only create wealth in numbers, you will create wealth in freedom, in joy, and in life itself. The call is simple. Begin today. Start with one habit, then another, step by step, day by day. You will find yourself walking into a future brighter, freer, and richer than you ever imagined. Because wealth is not a someday dream. Wealth is a daily decision, and the choice is already in your hands.
Thank you for spending this moment with Awaken Light Audio. If something today touched your heart or opened your mind, don't keep it to yourself. Share your thoughts in the comments. What spoke to you most? Tell us about your journey, your questions, your breakthroughs, and let us know what you'd love to hear next. Subscribe to stay connected. And if this message could uplift someone you care about, send it their way, because light grows when it's shared. Until next time, stay present, stay awakened, and keep becoming who you're meant to be.